Thank you, Dave. And this, for me, is the match of the night I look forward to, because in all likelihood, I think one of these guys won't get to the top 4 by the end of it. And this match here will play a large role in that, Wayne, in my view.
John Park thinks this could sort it. Well, all the way through, Phil Taylor has not been above Adrian Lewis in the Premier League table tonight. He could go above him, we shall see. The first time these met in week 2 of the Premier League. That man, Adrian Lewis, beat Phil Taylor 7-3. Phil Taylor was out of sorts. Lewis was consistent. He was winning. Since then, a couple of things have changed. Adrian Lewis has shown inconsistencies. Playing brilliant away from the big stage. Won the UK Open. Playing well on toy in 9 darters. But Phil Taylor has improved markedly since week 5. The last 4 weeks, he's had 3 wins and a draw. At one point, we were talking about elimination for Phil Taylor. He's avoided that. Now, it's the fight for promotion, if you like, and get a play-off place. That's the aim. Can he do it?
96.
Relatively timid start from the two of them. A better first start for Taylor here. Quite likely. The barrels crossed somewhat there that last start and took a bad deflection.
66.
Adrian hitting 2 treble ones. Just moving across. Well, this was the undoing of Phil Taylor in weeks 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just far too many sliders to the left.
Too many martles.
Thanks for that, John. Everyone does it. Look, he's catching. But he put that right, and full credit to Phil Taylor. He said he would. What he got to do is convert into points. Well, good start from Phil Taylor in this leg, and poor from Adrian Lewis. Michael Van Gerwen said that the better the player, like Phil Taylor, the better he plays, and Adrian Lewis is that kind of player to me. I always think he's going to play better against the likes of Michael and Phil than he does against any other people on the planet.
Well, Adrian can be streakier than bacon.
100.
When he gets going, he really just is on fire and sizzles.
Being Canadian, John, you're saying that with authority. There's only one Phil Taylor. Adrian will have something to say about that. Like this. Look at that. On a pinhead. That is grouping of the highest order. He could have got 12 in there.
Now, that 180 sort of reminded me of the turn he had to 66 with the 2 treble ones, just on the wire, almost identical, but he moved it over about 1/8 of an inch, and he gets a 180 out of the same 3 darts. That's learning from your earlier shots, adjusting from turn to turn.
81.
Yeah, it takes Phil to do that. You've got to have that touch. That's years and years of practice. Well, this leg is kind of going the same way as the first.
It's almost like they're phantom markers still up there in your brain, and you know how they got there, so you can use them even though they're not there anymore.
60.
Well, that leaves 80. Now, 180 or 140 would put Adrian Lewis under just a little bit of pressure here. Needs another.
100.
Well, you see by his face, he feels that that's not enough. Super shot from Adrian Lewis. Looking like he may have had to moved over, but went above the darts in total control.
Well, how important a dart can be. That gets in there, he settles down. He misses that, and maybe Phil, just maybe, comes back, knocks the 140 out, and it turns into a rout.
84.
Well, we know at this level that it really does turn on one dart, doesn't it?
I thought that about in the first leg, the very first three darts of Adrian. He had 80 scored, and the third dart looked like it was going to 140, just deflected and got a ton, and he only got a ton. And I think had he got a 140 there, and Phil had only had just under a ton, that could have changed that leg. I think 99. So often one dart makes a whole difference.
That's a perfect marker.
These odd darts here and there, they just establish your demeanor one way or the other, your confidence.
They do, and I think you said that a real apt time, because I personally am thinking right now that any more single fives from Phil Taylor could get the old brain ticking over, thinking, why am I doing it again?
140.
And every throw that he doesn't do that will be one of positivity. Another second for Adrian. And that's when you want to do it, against the throw, John. 180 is always against the throw if you can.
And he's keeping his first dart to the right side of the treble 20, but not into the ones. And where earlier, like I said, he made that adjustment. Now he's got that locked into his brain, and we can expect a much more 180s. Not this turn. Maybe a treble 17 and a bull here. Yes.
96.
That was for a break opportunity as well. I wonder if Phil's feeling a little nervous for this 38.
Well, the good thing is that Phil Taylor's darts, they lay down, so any dart below will be a marker. That is a marker. That's a better marker. Just build on the first dart and in.
A little display of emotion after. You could tell he was just a little antsy on that.
100.
Quite satisfied to get it done. Hold his throw.
But the psychology of this sport is the fact that after the first dart, Adrian will be slightly more confident that he may come back, and then after the second, you're thinking, come on, miss. And then when it goes in, your heart just sinks, John, doesn't it? Oh, so nearly had a chance, but...
Well, you know, sometimes in that situation, because it was Phil trying to hold his throw, yeah, Adrian wanted the opportunity, but I think because Phil was showing signs of sweating quite a bit there, I think there was some satisfaction Adrian will have had watching him sweat, even though he got it.
Yeah, make him earn it.
Yeah, right. I think he can feel dominant, even though the other guy got it sometimes, just by the relief the man shows. You can tell you got him in trouble, if you see what I mean.
I do. .265. Some players would start on the 19s, just trying to leave a 170 or lower. Phil needs another treble here.
85.
Well, you said he shouldn't do that. It's taken the pressure off of Adrian a fair bit. It's down to 79. Phil looking to hit a 140 to leave tops.
Well, if Phil can hit a 140 here, which is what he's done, this has to go.
And probably the old single. No, double 11. Might have two darts. Might. Well, it's a total regroup now, and he might just want to move a little bit more to the right to get a clear lane. Perfect, whatever he did. I'm not sure where he was standing. It's hard to tell because he had to bend over and pick up the dart. He dropped it. But just a perfect dart.
Now, for all those out there that do play darts, and you do drop a dart, don't just pick it up and throw it. Set yourself again, and you'll end up with results like Adrian Lewis.
125.
Just like Phil Taylor likes to build
60.
upwards, Adrian likes to build downwards.
Well, he likes to start off in the treble and stay there. And I think that those three darts are a reflection, just that little burst of adrenaline from cleaning up that double 11. That was a big pressure shot, and he held his throw. But I think it just a little rush of adrenaline, and he settled back down again now.
140.
Unfortunate deflection, the third dart. Of course, when you already have 2 darts in the treble 20, but the barrels are at different angles, you're looking where a lot of the time you get the double kiss and it's always out. Whereas that's a better scenario where you get the grouping in better. Although Phil didn't, he had a nice line.
81.
Only 81 from Adrian.
36.
6 darts at 136. Peter Wright took this out earlier. Phil will be looking to leave tops if he can.
96.
Well, the setting up play from Phil Taylor's been great.
Well, they both left tops. Adrian just a little more spectacular. Doesn't do him any good, though. Double tops, Phil. Oh, double 10. Now we're going to go to the 3rd dart for double 5. Yes, you could just sense that was going to happen, but he'll get it probably. No! Oh!
Another slider to the left. Did the 180, John? Did the 180 give Adrian Lewis the shot at tops that he gets? That was brilliant. That is why he's won what he's won.
Somehow he put doubt into Phil's mind. With all that experience, he still got rattled.
But you said about the double 19, made him sweat even though it didn't come to anything. That come to something, didn't it?
34.
See, that's it. That's why you maintain pressure. The guy might get off the hook the once, but if you maintain pressure on your opponent time after time after time, and you can see it playing on his mind, that you can build that confidence into your game.
81.
And you can crack them eventually, even if they have 101 average.
Well, everyone has a cracking point. That's what happens. Adrian being unfortunate there.
And although it's a different scenario there, Phil's failing right there was that double 12 to the left of the double 5. He pulled it left once again, like he was doing scoring earlier. So that element of the game's creeping back in for him again.
And already in this leg, 2 darts into the 5. The reason I keep mentioning it is the fact that Phil Taylor, in the first 5 weeks of this Premier League, was doing it time and time again. Then it disappeared from his game. For the last 4 weeks, he's been the magician that we know he is. But tonight, is it the pressure, or is it just, it's one of those things? There's a reason, I think, that it's in his game again tonight, and I do believe that he's just a bit rattled.
It's just caused by the pressure. Perhaps it was in the initial point. He had all the changes going on with the darts, with the weight, everything, all the unknowns in his head. And maybe he was feeling a lot more pressure in the earlier weeks, and that was causing those drifts left. But certainly that double 12, he obviously had the right weight, but just it got away from him again.
94, Adrian 87.
Treble 17. Double 18. Surely that goes in.
69.
Well, that was a pull. That was a tug downwards.
94.
Yeah, he had the exact line, so that's what it was. Just a matter of letting it tug down. 44 for these, so 1 dart for double 16 to break back.
62.
There's a time in his career you would have bet your house on him hitting that.
Normally done it
punishing.
Normally done it against you, John. Well,
I think we could talk about pressure, and it's coming back the other way now. That was incredible.
The first dart there was just so far away that I think it put Adrian off for the second. Phil was never going to miss again. We have somehow a level game. And Adrian, well, he's thinking, OK, it's gone. But the first dart at double 9 for me, that was the one. No marker, no nothing. It was kind of a wasted dart.
And then the second dart was thrown in about half a second. It was like an utter panic.
Yeah, Adrian used so much experience when he dropped the dart a couple of legs ago to hit the double on double 11, and yet
96
looked kind of amateurish with how quick he threw at that second dart for double 9.
Well, I guess it all boils down to the fact these guys have the utmost respect and fear of each other's games. They know what's there, and they know they can lose. Nobody likes facing that. That's the situation for both of them.
100.
Only a ton. Well, we're back on throw. Phil just slowing the pace down, just a tad. Approach the hockey slowly.
90.
Okay, neither one of us will say it.
$92.
Not really enough.
Needs to get down the middle. Phil Taylor needs to stay in the segment he's aiming at. That's a good cover shot.
134.
A much better effort.
Lady
123.
doing brilliantly there.
So we require 104.
It's looking likely that he may have only left a 170 or 130. Well, treble 19 is what Phil's going for. Will stay there. Well, he will not be pleased. That was a real chance to leave double 14. The way he builds, John, I fancied that.
Well, so often I've seen 80 hit that bull to start, but this time it's double 10 to end it. Great adjustment from the 45 to the double 10. It's one of my personal favorites. I love the 90 out, and I do exactly what Adrian does. If you get that bull, you got 2 darts for tops, but somehow that just seems so natural, the treble 15, double 10 combination off of 25. It just seems to flow. And you could tell how quickly he did it, that he's done that a few times.
And then to start with a 1-3-4. The pressure firmly on Phil Taylor. Can he withstand it? You know this man's going to carry on. He's not just going to wilt.
100.
Yeah, I mean, that double 9 episode was, it's good to see he's over it anyway. That was quite weird. He just totally lost it for those 3 darts. But he's back. Lewis is.
97.
Phil knows that if you want to break the Adrian Lewis throat, 97 shots of that ilk are not enough. Because that's what happens after 9 darts. Adrian Lewis wants 127. And that's what happens when you're behind.
Yeah, that's what happens when you need a 180 just to leave a finish. You can't because one bounces.
65. Adrian
Phil Taylor last week looked like the champion he is against Robert Thornton. This week, whilst playing well, just been far too erratic. Some world-class darts that we always know you're going to get. But some real poor ones.
Not those ones.
His first 180 of the match.
It's double 10 again. Needs 2 this time.
57.
Needed 3 maybe.
Could this be typical Taylor? You miss, he gets a chance. Does he clean up? Does he? Changed his mind from the 2 to the 10. Double 16. Well, he changed his mind and he went the right way. Come on, you beauty, he says.
Yes, there's certainly an ouch factor there because he hit a 180 to leave the 102. I mean, before the 180, Lewis thought he'd won the leg and was already thinking about the next couple.
Didn't like that, did he, Adrian Lewis?
Well, he knows. He never should have given that opportunity away.
Well, we said after one leg, John, that most matches, or especially at this standard, are turned on 1 or 2 darts. And could that, or could those misses at double 10 off to 77 be the turning point in this particular contest?
Oh, that's always trouble. He'll go 19s. Doesn't like to be above the first dart, but good covering into the 19s.
96.
It's another 2 treble turn, yes.
140.
Sort of sees back the advantage from Phil. Could have 3 consecutive breaks here, perhaps.
There we see the table. Says it stands. Will it end up like that?
177.
Well, just when Phil Taylor needed a biggie.
opportunity blowing there
26.
by Adrian. Essentially, you can count on 6 darts unless, you know, Phil does this out, which he might just do now. There's absolutely no pressure on it. Treble 19 for double 10. He won't mind. That's 70 left. So treble 18 will leave double 8.
Well, you can see how it's bothered him, because even at to ask what was left, he just didn't expect to hit the 7.
85.
He's just annoyed the fact that he's had that slider over to the left again.
Yeah,
He's so annoyed with himself.
He shouldn't be letting himself get distracted from the fact he's in a great position here. Hold his throw, be one leg away from the point at least. Perfect 20. He's about a 16 once again.
20.
Well, the first dart
90.
looked like he blocked it. The second dart was thrown superbly.
Has to go for bull this time.
65.
Maybe it'll fall out and back into the bull, Adrian. Wait.
32.
No, I don't think that would happen.
Now, a leg that Phil Taylor had dominated from the start, really. 5-4 to Phil Taylor. Adrian nearly nicked it. Fourth 180 for Jack Park.
Well, the way I see it, Adrian's scoring has been the better scoring to watch in this match of the two.
122.
Just a little inconsistent finishing. Taylor a little better in that
59.
department. Not perfect by any means, but better than Lewis.
There we see the averages. Quality contest. And there's the finishing. Both themselves the same amount of darts at a double, 13. Phil just hit one more.
135.
Adrian looking to set this up. May move over to 18s and does. Will stay there.
92.
That leaves the biggest of them all. Here we see, not a lot between them, is there? Not a lot in the averages, not a lot in the doubles, and just 3 180s.
The 3 180s different.
100.
Adrian, it's the timing, is pounding in the 180s, sort of adds an element of pressure onto any opponent, even Phil.
60.
That doesn't add any pressure.
144.
Will not be pleased with the last dart, that's for sure. Treble 20. Another one. This is for a point, remember. Double 12. For a point. Well, that is what Phil Taylor is all about. Give him a chance and he'll take it. 80, not pleased.
Yeah, and now he has the throw to try and get 2 points. This is his better opportunity to get 2 points, this leg, than if he lost and tried to do it against the throw.
Adrian Lewis wanted 77 and had 2 darts at double 10 to go 5-3 up in this match. It went 4-all, and now Phil Taylor has taken the game to him. That was a superb finish, under any circumstances.
140.
Yeah, and Phil doing his best to make a break impossible.
59.
There you see it. Phil Taylor currently in 4th position in a playoff place. Leapfrogs Lewis.
99.
But who will get the other point from this match? Lewis isn't done yet.
With his ability, he's never done. There you have it. 2-6-2 apiece.
Whoever can do it in 6 is going to win.
There you see Phil's face. That was unfortunate.
80.
Well, he needed more of an effort, though, that last start. He just sort of lobbed it. He needed a treble because of that. It was very unfortunate. but he sort of just tossed that last dart. It was incredibly to me.
92.
Adrian's left the 170 again for 2 legs running. And off the 170 in the previous leg, he only hit 60. Will he need to take the 170 out? I've got a feeling he's going to have to. 77 is no gimme.
Oh, a deflection robs him of a chance to keep the match alive.
77.
For 2 points. And his third win, sorry, his fourth win in 5 weeks. Single 18. That leaves tops for the match. Yes, Phil Taylor gets it. He beats Adrian Lewis by 7 legs to 4. What a game of darts. Averaging 100. 2 champions. Teeing it up. Only one winner. Phil Taylor beats Adrian Lewis 7-4.